What's up, Blue Chips? It's Thursday, January 9th. Let's go over to the old trusty notepad. What do we got? Don't underestimate the power of your words. Let's get to it. All right, so is that talking to me? Was that thing just talking to me? Interesting. Trying to say I have a little bit of power? Who am I, Donald Trump? So let's take a quick look at the scanners here. I know I'm not on here. All you need to do is hear me. But AGTC, kind of the top mover. It's not something we'd be interested in. Don't have any shares there anyway. Lower float. VBIV, we took a look. We do have shares there. The range isn't that great, but we will kind of keep an eye on that right there out of the open. DBVT up 19%. Let's give that a look real quick. Not really. I mean, it's a good gap up. It actually gapped up in the after hours yesterday. Then we got the pretty much consolidation here in the morning. I wouldn't actually be surprised. I was going to say, I guess it didn't really run yesterday, so it wouldn't be on the bear scan watch list. Let's see, DB. No, I don't see it on here. But yeah, let's take a look at AXNX, which is number 4 on the gapper list, up 16.9% here. So we do have shares here. This is actually a pretty good gap up. This happened this morning in the pre-market. I'm looking at the daily. Got a key-ish level here around 37.50. But really not too much resistance as we're heading up here. So that actually could be a little bit of a scary one. We'll have to keep the daily in mind there if we want to look at AXNX. Next we got CHS. What's up, Jay Towers, Constantine, Vincenzo? What's up? I did throw some Cheerios on the floor. He's enjoying them very much right now. Just kidding. He's not sure what he's doing. He's playing with all the cars, per usual. That's kind of what he does. CHS, we do have shares available as well. Float on this is 109 million, so good float, kind of the top of the range that we're looking for there. Range is okay. There's some really good resistance. Looks like around $5 on the daily, so we'll keep that in mind as well. Obviously, we're looking at all these charts just to kind of give us almost like a briefing, right? We're just kind of looking to have it in our head, but not really. So when we pull the chart up, we can be like, okay, I remember looking at that pre-market, and I remember what to look at. Like in this case, we'd be looking at the daily, looking for 5, and we go from there. So I don't necessarily, plan my trades pre-market. I just kind of take a look at the charts and go from there. And by the way, if you are new here, my name's Tim. Feel free to ask questions. It's kind of what we do, right? We're here to show you some live trades, hopefully. And we're also here to answer any questions. If you have any, no question is a bad question. Remember that. Let's take a look at the bear scan watch list real quick. We have, let's find ones where we would play. Pixie's number 1. We'll take a look at it, but this is something we wouldn't play. We don't have shares anyway, but it's a micro float. And yeah, this thing is just absolutely crazy to look at. Had the big gap up, and really it just kind of consolidated, believe it or not, in this 10-point range yesterday after the big move up in the after hours on Tuesday. So yeah, definitely will not be partaking in any of that. VSTM, no shares here, so it doesn't really apply to us as far as the bear scan watch list goes. Bear scan watch list is designed to show you hangovers and possible like pops at the bell and looking for the fade for the rest of the day. That's the idea behind the bear scan watch list. However, if you don't have shares available, then it kind of gets rid of the overall premise of the scan. So it's kind of pointless to look at the chart. Brad, what's up, man? JB, how you doing? Welcome. Let's see what else we got on here. TRIL, I'm pretty sure we don't have shares there. We actually looked at this when it was going up yesterday. ADMS. CEI is the one that's setting the scanners off right now. Actually, we can pull the scanners up here on this. Or let's go to chart 2 because that's the one we were using. Maybe I can get it right. There we go. ADMS, we do have shares here. What's the volume look like? 22 mil float, not that great. Volume only 8,000. So this is definitely one. I mean, for hangovers, you don't want too much volume, but you do need volume to make the stock move. The range isn't too great, but it did climb a decent amount considering the price of the stock. So this could be something worth watching at the bell. See if it gives us a little pop up towards those pre-market highs of 580 up into $6. Just take a quick look at the daily. So there's not too much resistance sitting there at 6, but there's plenty of resistance up here around 750. So I think that is where we would look for this thing to go if we were interested. So we would need this thing to run on some volume before we're interested. Although the 200 on the daily, let me go full screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The 200 is sitting right here at, what is that, 556. So that could be why this got rejected pre-market, and it could be a good spot for a reversal here. But it's kind of interesting the way this thing has moved on the daily, right? We got the resistance here around 7, the high here was 778, and then we get a huge drop off. And then we come up again and test that same area, 745, and we get the gap down and the huge drop. So I don't know if I'd want to be too interested in this, as it looks like this has a history of kind of climbing, and the 200 doesn't seem to stop it in the past. It did here and did a few times here, but these last 2 times it's kind of tried to push through both times. So that's something that I would most likely not be looking to trade unless it got up here towards that 750 area on a big move, kind of like this bar here, because we know it's capable of a move like this. Apparently this had a huge move down and then a huge move right back up in the same day. But we see these big bars. So we know that these moves are capable within the stock of ADMS. So we'll have that kind of in the back of our head if we see this going on the plus I3 scan today. Yes, Giovanni, this is the DAS trader platform via the broker CMEG. So we got about 3 minutes here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot those out real quick before we get started. I also am kind of implementing a new rule into my trading. I'm not going to be taking any trades within the first 2 minutes. So I'm basically going to let my first candle form regardless. And because one of my rules later in the day, like not later in the day, but like after the bell, is I always look for the second candle of an extension. So it really should make no difference just because it's the first candle, right? I should always be waiting for that second candle to let it do its thing. So that's kind of a new rule that I was just kind of going back through my trades, and I realized that pretty much every trade that I took on the 9:30:31 candle ended up being early. So, and it was like it's like 96% of the time I took that trade on the first candle, it ended up being early. So I'm going to go fill my water up, and I will be right back. You collecting books? Collecting on books? You want me to fill one? He always finds a way. He always finds a way. What's wrong? I asked if that's what you wanted. No? I'll leave it up there. What's this? No? I wonder if my video got copyrighted yesterday. Got about 15 seconds here till the bell. Again, if you're new here, I am Tim here at Volatility Trading. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We just try to do some, some good stuff. Try to make some good trades. Do our best. So it looks like I didn't, so maybe I'll turn that on in the background just to see what happens. What's up, Thomas? Welcome. So right out of the gates, we got, am I still full screen? Let me make sure. Okay, yeah. OSMT, TRIL. We know that we don't have shares on either of those. If at any point in time you guys can hear my TV, let me know. Don't want to have to deal with the old copyright issues here. So we can't play AGTC. We were just looking at that earlier. VSTM, we don't have shares on either. KNF is getting absolutely smashed. Looks like it actually kind of found some support here on the daily at this area. Well, maybe not. Can't really see. The range on this thing is so big that you can't really tell. I'm attempting today as well to not scare myself out of possible long trades. If I do take a long trade today, it will be on the demo account for today and tomorrow. But I am looking to try and not shy away from them. And I've also kind of implemented a way to play them to feel a little bit more comfortable as well. So we will see if it works or not. Oops, I did not type that right. There's a lot going on the scanners, but here, we'll pull the full screen of scanners. Nothing that fits our edge quite yet. AXNX. Yeah, it's not quite doing what we wanted it to do, at least not yet. You got it, bud. KNF. TUFN. The TUFM, we'd like to see it a little bit lower. PT. We just had that one up, didn't we? WLL. So WLL might be something we'd be interested in. See if we can get down there towards the $7. So 720. I totally forgot I need to bust this out. So we need 10. CSLT. So SSR, we do have shares there, but SSR, why not Sterling? I actually did try Sterling for a month, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like it compared to DOS. Everything kind of felt a little bit sluggish in comparison, so I had switched back. MBIO. We have shares here on MBIO. We need some volume and a little bit more of an extension. We do have some good resistance here on the daily at 480. So WLL didn't really do what we wanted it to do. TRNX. TRNX is getting smashed here back below $1. I'm going to stay away from that. I told myself I'm not going to do anything below $3, especially with that strat. All right, so this is one of the ones that we were talking about, looking for that extension. Then we're going to look for about half the move back up there. There it is. See if we can get a little bit more. Kind of missed that move there. That's kind of my fault. This is why I want a trading matrix. What did that hit? 1024. Just put it. That was pretty much the exact move we were looking for. Just that quick little pop. I don't know why I keep bringing M. I don't know why. I need to stop bringing that up. I do that like all the time. EOLS. BBBY. This actually does look pretty good. So let's see. About 40. I think I'd want to see this a little bit more extended. Isn't that what you wanted? Alright, so we got BBBY here. I'm kind of liking it a little bit better now, so we can get a little bit more of a push. Alright, let's try this one out. Here we go up here with CLVS, getting a little bit of a push down. Really big push down. All right, we'll hit an add there. So we're still kind of looking for that same area for the most part here for now. He keeps wanting me to fix it, and then he... So what was our entry here on BBBY? Sometimes you just gotta let them cry it out. So we'll be looking for like 1420 here. Let's see, 14, 20, 23. There's still nothing going on our normal strategy here, which has been par for course lately. We can get back up here towards that 10. Is it 975? What's our average? 997. It's about 20 cents. So yeah, we'll go with 1019. Put an order in there, see if we can get a little jump to there. BBBY, still kind of watching it. While this is doing this, let's take a look at OCX. Just out of curiosity. Don't like it. ADMA. We've played ADMA in the past. Decent volume. Range isn't too great. We'd need to see a bigger move out of this. Let's go back to CLVS. I feel like I'm going to need more charts. So we're 1383 there, so still okay. Yeah, I see LK. I saw it popping up on the scanners, and I kind of figured it'd be extended. We don't have any shares there. You never do. It's kind of frustrating. The CHS is another one. We need to see this a little bit more extended, though. I just have to remind myself to keep going back to the demo account when I switch charts here. Got yesterday's high right here at 409 area. It would have been nice to see that all in one move. And we're getting the move down here on BBY. Pretty big buyer there. I was about to hit it. Kind of missed that 5 cents there. See if we'll probably move back down to it since there's a ton of liquidity there. Be patient with that one. CSLT. Oh yeah, that's the one that's on SSR. VSTM. We can play it this way. Range just isn't there. That's the only problem here with VSTM. All right, here we're getting that move down here. There we go. All right, grab an ad there. So that puts our average at 1371. Let's do our little 1358, unless we're gonna go through it here. So 13 cents. So 1371 plus 13 is 84. Put our new order out there. VSTM. Not exactly sure what VSTM is attempting to do here. It's got a ton of volume, but it's moving like there's almost no volume. Take a look at LK. It's causing a commotion here in the chat. I can see why. That little break a high a day there for a second. I just realized on this screen you guys don't see my orders. Let's go here. You guys can see those if you're really interested. Wonder, do I have? Yeah, I was gonna say I think I have. Chat to it. There we go. We'll just stick with one chart for now. WAFU. Sorry, I saw that was on SSR. No interest there. Kind of give a quick scroll through. CLVS is trying to come up to our target here. We got our order at 1019. Got to 1013 there. See if we can get a little bit more of a push up towards VWAP. Maybe get a little VWAP touch. Let's see, VBIV. Not really extended. RGLS. A little bit of a lower float. A lot of low floats kind of in the mix today. PVH. It's a pretty hefty dip, but I don't like the volume there. So we're definitely going to stay away from that. TUFN. It's not really what we're looking for. It's kind of sideways. So on these long plays, we're not, we're obviously not catering away from the, we're not catering away from SSR. So there we go. We got our profit target there on CLVS for a nice, pretty much half quota trade there, $22. Take a look here. Still working BBBY. It's kind of working itself out. APLT, we actually had shares to short this thing yesterday, but we decided to stay away for a good reason. GPOR. I always used to call GPOR GPro just by accident, but I've started to realize that it's not GPro for GoPro. AGTC, I just saw that on the scanner. We have no shares here. I had checked that earlier, so I knew I didn't have shares. That's kind of why I didn't bring it up. My fault. BBY apparently does not want to really do anything. I was getting ready to say if it wanted to come down and try to test that 50 area one more time, we might look to add to it. What's up, bud? Apple. This kid. All right, so we're actually starting to get that move up there. We're just looking for 84. Got close here. It got up to 78. Didn't even realize that when it happened. I feel like I may have done the math wrong there. Let me redo the math. 1371 minus 1353, 18. So 1371 plus 18, 89. So we were close. 84. Let's go ahead and fix it just for my silly purposes. Alrighty. What's up, Vize? Just been catching up on some of your vids. I like how more calm, composed you're getting each week. Hopefully this will help big time in avoiding those past mistakes. I appreciate that, man. I'm actually starting to kind of feel that way. I'm obviously realizing that I'm becoming more disciplined because since Christmas, I've taken, like 4 trades, like total? That's horrible. As far as like the overall amount goes, but it's what the market's been giving us, and unfortunately the ones that it has been giving us haven't been what we've been interested in. $25 locate fee, yes, hopefully you knew that and didn't just do it by accident or on purpose and didn't realize it. That's just what CMEG charges you. Most offshore brokers, I'm pretty sure, charge a locate fee. Oh, we would have hit our old order. Let's see if we can get that little bit of a pop. We got to 88. 1 penny. See if we can get that little bit of a push. 87. I typically wouldn't sit here and watch. As you saw, CLVS went off without us even watching it. But there's not really much else to look at right this second. We're not in any other trades. Part of me kind of wants to take it because that's where our old order was. And we got it anyway. There we go. It kind of felt like it was fighting. So another decent trade there, 1440. So 2 winners thus far. I'm really enjoying the way that this long strategy is kind of playing out. I like it. We're in a bullish market, so there we go. Yeah, Giovanni, and it's actually not even just the $25 locate fee. You still have to pay price per share as well. So that's the unfortunate part. CSLT. Yeah, it happens. Just a slow start to the year. We'll eventually pick up sometime next week due to earnings season starting. Ha! I don't know if you've been watching my streams, but that's exactly what I've been saying. I've been hoping that earnings will start to pick things up a little bit. Excuse me. Jay Towers, you were in and out as well. BBBY. That was a good call, man. I actually did not pull that up off the scanner. That was straight you. And I like the extension that it was giving us. I jumped in. So thank you to Jay Towers for BBBY. That was a good call. Wow, nothing is fitting me this morning. If I wanted it, no shares. Yeah, everything I pulled up. Actually, the only one I really pulled up that I wanted was LK. But yeah, no shares. So didn't end up trading it. I told myself when I was on Thinkers, I was actually paper trading via on demand on Thinkorswim for about 3, maybe 4 hours last night, really back testing this long strategy. I mean, it's not like a special strategy. It's just kind of, you get in, you kind of have a max loss and go from there. Like, you add where you feel appropriate. You hit the max loss, you hit the max loss kind of thing. So, but I really felt like I needed to try to implement a long strategy because my strategy of being short biased, it just hasn't been showing up. And when it's been showing up, we're in such a bullish market right now that it's not working. Like even on LK here, if I would have got in, a little bit early on this, say like 41.50, maybe I didn't get my ad because I was looking for 42. I mean, granted, this was a pretty big pullback, so we could have got out, and we should have got out. But this is how it's been looking. Like, you just get these pushes, and then you don't really get a actual full pullback. You just get a little, 1-2 minute pullback and then continue. And then it just grinds the rest of the day. I mean, like, pretty much what this daily looks like. Get the big move up, a little bit of a consolidation, no real pullback, and then move up. A little bit of a pullback, consolidation, move up. And then we finally got a decent pullback, looks like last week. So that's what I'm saying. This is the kind of market we're in right now where we're just kind of pushing up and consolidating. We're not really pushing up, getting a pullback, and then continuing. It's kind of frustrating for someone that's short biased. And I've been noticing that over the past few weeks. And so I said, you know what? You got to adapt. We can't just come here every single day and just watch the market. So we need to try to figure out a way to make money on both sides. So I am attempting to find a way that I feel comfortable trading the other side. So call me a bear turned bull, or I'll just be I guess there's really no way to mix those two words together. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing now. We're looking for opportunity, right? Opportunity on both sides. That's what we're looking for. But the overall thing that we look for, like we always have, is the extension. You guys know that. I always look for extension away from previous resistance, which is what I usually look for. So in this case, yesterday's high as well as pre-market highs, we would have been looking for extension away from there. And we would look for it to come back down and test that area. But that hasn't been happening. So that's what I'm getting at, is we need to find plays where maybe we'll look for extension away from support, looking for it to come back up and try to test that resistance area because we're in a bullish market. What do we got going? AGTC. And again, yes, if you are new here, I almost never trade on my demo account anymore, but I am attempting to try something new. So that's why you will see the TRC, or well, just the TR for training in front of my account number right now, because I am attempting something different. I'm not just going to throw my real money at it without testing it first. So even though I spent 3-4 hours on it, you know, a lot of people will spend months practicing something new before they actually implement it into their real trading. But I'm going to see what it does today and tomorrow, and then possibly start to implement it with just a little bit lower risk. And I really felt like this was low risk, and we still made, you know, decent money considering the share size on the strategy. So if I can start to implement these trades and kind of just get some multiple trades in there to make up for my short bias strategy not really being there, then so be it. I'll be pretty happy about it. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, it looks like we pretty much hit both of those perfectly too, for the most part. They went a little bit further. Well, I guess it doesn't show you. It showed you while I was in the trade, but with CLVS, I used 100 share lots. No, 50. I used 50 share lots. I got to 100 total. And then down here on BBY, I used 40 share lots. And typically, I've been, like, on my short bias trading, I used a 1-1-2 system, so I was only using 3 entries. So I was using higher share size, like 100, 200 here and there. But I started to even downgrade that a little bit because nothing was working. So I was kind of just trying to protect my capital as much as possible. Take a quick picture. We'll go back to, let's go back to the full screen with scanners. See what else we can find here. Yeah, WLL was actually the other one I was kind of interested in, but when we pulled it up, it was actually right here. We didn't have this full extension, so. But I'm not a huge fan of how it's not actually that extended now from VWAP. VWAP actually came down a little bit further than I'd like. If it was kind of hanging out up here around 713, I'd be interested possibly here for the overextension. If this wants to actually like give us a nice drop towards 650 right now, we would definitely be interested. But definitely not where it's at now. TS or TS. I keep wanting to type Tesla, and that's the other thing. Like I was talking about GPOR yesterday or earlier. Tesla TSLA and this TLSA are very similar as well. It's kind of interesting. Makes you wonder if they do that on purpose. Smacking my desk. Hey, hey, hey. No, 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 no. You don't smack the desk like that. No, no. So this APLS, we're actually at some pretty key support area, because looking at the daily, if we get under that, it's kind of smooth sailing all the way down here to the bottom of this gap up, which is what, 34.60. That could be a little scary. This extension is interesting. See, 38.50 to get back to there. What's that? 80. That's some small share size I would have to take. Plus, not a huge fan of the spread either. That's the other thing I need to get over, is the share size. Share size shouldn't necessarily matter when it comes to dollar amount. Your risk, when you're trying to risk the same amount each time, like right there, I wanted to jump in, but I did the calculation and it came out to 15 shares. And part of me just didn't want to take it, because I'm like, why would I want to just take 15 shares? But if you get 80 cents on 15 shares, it's $12, right? So in correlation, that's actually not bad when we were looking for like this 38.50 area. And on a single entry, single exit, that's not bad. So I need to get that out of my head like right now. Because that's not how we should be thinking. Because think in the future, right? 15 shares, if we're adding a 0 to that, it's 150 shares. And then you're not thinking, oh, well, that's just crap. You're thinking, okay, it's 150 shares. Like, you can still do damage with 150 shares. Like, that'd be $120 instead of $12. So that's how I need to get it out of my head that, we're just trading silly size, because that's not what matters. What matters is consistency. If I can consistently make, $10-12 every single trade on a single entry, single exit, and I can stack those up, then that's what matters. All right, we want to just find that consistency. The share size shouldn't matter, especially now, especially when you're finding something new. You should be trading smaller size. You should be only risking small amounts of money when you're trying something new. Why would you want to risk your hard-earned money and your trading capital on something you don't even know if it works? So a lot of people have that issue. They see somebody on YouTube doing something and it's working, and they're like, oh, well, I have a $25,000 account, and Tim here on Volatility Trading, he only has a $6,000 account, so I'll just scale up because I have more money. But you've never even tried the strategy before, so how do you know if it's going to work? That's the thing, is you can take notes from somebody else, but you always have to back test and do your own due diligence and paper trade. You don't necessarily have to paper trade, but just use like very small share size so that you can still have the emotion that it's real money, but not the effect of changing your mind within a trade because it is too much money. Because if you're adjusting your trade from your initial strategy during a trade, it's because you're getting emotional about it. And the whole point of being consistent and figuring out a way to be consistent, it has a ton to do with your emotions. Emotions are such a key point to trading. If you can, and you'll hear even pro traders, like professional traders, and we're coming up to that 38.50 area. I would have put it right. I would have front run 38.50 here if we were in. But you'll even hear professional traders, their biggest problem is not their strategies. It's not their executions. It's themselves, right? That's why you'll see a lot of these professional traders are always talking about going to therapy and, having a therapist and learning how to find their Zen. There's all kinds of different ways to really, like meditate and stuff like that. And they're into that because they know that they are their weakest link. It has nothing to do with their strategy. Like, they've back tested their strategy. They've traded the strategy for years. They know it works. They can see that it should work in hindsight when it doesn't. But the key factor is them, right? While they're in the trade. So a way to help with your emotions is to just down the share size, right? So while you're learning something new, that's the biggest thing I can recommend is down the share size. You want to play with this? Yeah. Told mommy that you still like that. The Siren's Call. Hey, look at Mr. Todd Combs up in here. What's up, man? I was actually just looking at a picture of you from the other day when we were at an Orioles game, if you remember. You looked a little different. And Todd, you want to go to MGM soon? I've been trying to find a time to go. We should. I haven't been there yet, so I want to go to check it out. I want to get on the felt for a little bit. What is the Siren's Call? I feel like I've never heard that before. I see it. Is it a magic card? It's like one of the pictures that popped up. Siren's Call. Here it is. All of opponent's creatures that can attack must do so. Any non-wall creatures that cannot attack, killed at end of turn. Can be played only during opponent's turn before opponent's attack. Creatures summoned this turn are unaffected. I don't think that's what you meant. Yes, Tom is completely correct in the sense that if you get into a trade and your heart starts beating really fast, you're too emotional. So you have too much size in the trade, or you're in a spot where you don't feel comfortable with the trade and you're anxious. You're wondering what's going to happen next. Now there is a little one time that it can be okay is when you first start trading, right? Even using small size, when you hit that button, you still get that feeling, inside. Your heart starts beating a little fast because it's real money at that point, even if it's a small amount. But that's a good thing. You want that. You want to harness that feeling. Because the quicker that you can get control of your emotions, the quicker you'll become a more profitable trader, or just become profitable in the first place. Siren in Greek mythology, a creature half bird and half woman who lured sailors to destruction by the sweetness of her song. According to Homer, there was two sirens on an island in the western sea between Aia and the rocks of Sicilia. Look, now you're giving me all these words that I can't pronounce. The Sirenese were encountered by the Argonauts, who passed by unharmed with the help of the poet Orpheus, who drowned out their music with song. They saw him bound tightly to the mast while his men blocked their ears with wax. Getting all Greek mythology on us. Trying to confuse me. All right, let's take a look. APLT. This? Where'd you get this from? I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's your, excuse me. I don't even know what this is, bud. Ah. Here, you have that. Look. Put them in. There you go. There you go, and then hit it. There you go. I'm still trying to tie myself to the ship's mast. FOMO is the siren. As I was kind of reading that kind of made sense. Not gonna lie. So we never actually got to that area there. So that would have been a little frustrating. But we probably would have took it since it was a single entry. So we wouldn't have made exactly what we were looking for, but we would have got out with a profit there. And Todd, just to answer more of your question, if you're still here, that's why I don't play poker anymore. That game became so saturated with like high level players that it's crazy. The stock market is the same way, but I can sit here and just play, top level hands whenever I want. I don't have to go sit at a poker table for 8 hours to get, like 4 or 5 good hands. This is kind of like playing poker in a sense. If you have a poker background, the stock market will be much easier because it gives you a sense of risk management because you need risk management in poker. It gives you the ability to kind of read a situation because you try to read your opponents. You try to understand the range that they might have within their pocket, and with their hole cards. There's a lot of different aspects from poker that correspond into trading the stock market. This TLSA, wouldn't be too interested in it. I feel like TRIL is not really something we're looking at. What is FVE doing? Ooh. No shares here, low float, but volume actually really sucks on it too, to be honest. But this is what the scanners bring us, right? We get the intensity move on the scanners. I just realized that that's a little too stretched. There we go. But this is kind of what they give us. You get over 20, you hear the alert, and waboom. This is what a chart looks like right off the scanner. APLT. This is the range on this is nuts. I don't want anything to do with it. Looks like everybody in Team ISW is doing well. Speaking of which, again, if you are new here, Tim, Volatility Trading, we are doing a 1,000 sub giveaway. I just realized my camera's a little off there. So we're doing a 1,000 sub giveaway. We're actually doing that tomorrow night. We hit 1,000 subs right before the new year, so that was pretty awesome. And here's why you don't play low floaters. About to get halted up here on pretty much no volume. Re-FVE. But we're doing a 1,000 sub giveaway. We're giving away 2 things. Well, technically 4 things. One is 2 weeks of these awesome ISW scanners. Within the scanners, we're also going to be giving away the 2 chat rooms that come with the scanner. So you're going to be part of the team essentially for 2 weeks. So you get to pick the brains of Team ISW for 2 weeks, which is invaluable. You can ask Thomas. You can ask some others that have actually been in there, and they kind of got their month or 2 full of knowledge, and they still use the scanners, but they just, they pretty much got everything that they wanted answered. So it's definitely something, because it also comes with the Learning Center if you do become part of the team, which is really nice. But we're giving away 2 weeks of that. And then the other thing we're giving away is the trading journal with TraderSync to 3 people for an entire year. So 1 year of the pro membership tier of TraderSync for an entire year. It's a $360 value, and we're going to be giving away 3 of them. So that's tomorrow night that we're going to be doing that on the Friday night live stream. Again, if you're new here, we do a Friday night live stream pretty much every Friday. It would take something weird for us not to do it, like a major holiday, something like that. But yeah, all you have to do if you want to sign up for either of those, I'm going to post the link here in a second of the video itself. And all you have to do is go into the comment section and just let me know that you want to be entered and for what. So if you want to be entered for both, just let me know that you want to be entered for both. And if you want to be entered for just one or the other, just put that in there. And that's all you got to do. We'll be doing the drawing tomorrow night. You don't have to be there for the drawing, but who doesn't want to be there for Friday night live stream? You know, it's your last little. I need to think of what to say when I keep bringing this up, because I always kind of start stumbling upon my words, looking for the right words. But it's like your last little dose of the stock market before going into the weekend. I like that word, dose. I'll have to use that. My kid learned how to unlock the front screen door, so it scares me. Every time I hear it open, I gotta be like, He won't go out. He's just sitting there playing with a toy, but he wants to just sit there and open and close, open and close. So we're obviously still looking for something else. FVE ended up not halting and getting shoved right back down. The power of low floats. As you can see, now it's popping up on the minus I3 scan. Just as quick as it was on the plus I3 scan, it is now on the minus I3 scan. Did we have shares on, was it ZX? Was it ZY? Zixi. Yeah, we didn't have shares. I think the float on this one wasn't that great either, was it? Let's ZYXI. So many like end of the alphabet letters. It's hard to remember. Yeah, the float was a little lower on that one. A stock booster shot. There you go. That's not bad. I like the dose a little bit better. You know, just take the quick dose. I really need to get my green screen up, so it'll just be like my head, just kind of floating there. So if anybody has any questions, we usually run to about 10:30. It's kind of when things start to really slow down. Obviously, we are here for most of the day anyways. Just kind of, I play with the kid, keep the headphones on, listen for the scanners, which is another awesome part about the scanners. They give you the nice audible alerts, and they only alert you when it's something worth looking at. So I know a lot of people like to compare to Trade Ideas, where I always say Trade Ideas, it alerts like everything. So pretty much all day, it's just constantly alerting you. So when something really pops off on the ISW scanners, it's definitely worth pulling up. So like right now we have TLSA. So this is making a nice down move considering the range that it's in and the volume that it gets. So as you can see, it's starting to extend itself even further. So that's what you get. TRIL on the other side, as you can see, look at this thing, nice and extended. So this is what the scanner provides for you. It's looking for intense moves that are extending themselves, right? Intensity stockwatch scanners. So, and if you are interested in the stockwatch scanners anyway, just from seeing them, always do have the link down in the description below. I know it really sounds like I'm selling you guys stuff today, but I'm really not. Just letting you know that it's there. Up to 30% off lifetime though, by the way. It sounds like I'm trying to sell you, but it's really not. It's only because I was doing the giveaway, so it was on my mind. Be nice if SPY went over its VWAP. Let's take a look. What is the SPY doing? It's just in consolidation today, huh? Not really making any kind of moves like it has been. Kind of feels a little heavy. Pre-market kind of tested this 326.30 30 area. Came up, made a high at the bell, and now it's kind of just consolidating in that area. So if it wants to curl back up through VWAP and test those highs, I think that'll be a big spot there. Obviously, just kind of like any breakout of whether this thing is going to really continue today. I mean, the higher this thing squeezes, just the more people that are losing a lot of money. I know a lot of people have been playing SPY puts and stuff like that, saying, oh, we're in a bubble. Well, guess what, guys? Look at 2000, what was this? February of 2016 all the way to February 2018. Literally 2 years without any real pullback, right? This was kind of the first real pullback in the middle of February in 2018. And then it popped back up and tried to continue to fall down, but then we ended up climbing higher just over the course. It took about 6 months, but it ended up going higher before the infamous pullback that we all know and love. That was pretty interesting. That was like soon after I had started trading, so it was interesting to be. It's funny too, because when I first started trading, I only went long, and I was going long during all of this. But then I started to become short biased, and it was as this was happening, right? It was early February of 2019. So right here is where I started to become short biased, and we've done nothing but just constantly set new highs in the market. It's kind of funny how that works. I'm literally fighting the overall market, but when I'm trading though, the overall market really shouldn't affect it too much, but there definitely is a bias going on right now, and it definitely is bullish. That is for sure. Let's see. Sue is asking me about Snap. Let's see. This is a little bit extended, but I told myself I'm not going to play anything that I don't find off the scanner, off of an intense move. If I would have saw it over here, probably would have looked to get in, but I would have been out right here because, again, you guys know this is my bread and butter. When we take a short, we're looking for extension away from the previous resistance, and then we're looking for it to come back down and touch that previous resistance before it tries to continue. So it did exactly that. So if you were to get in here, it gave you exactly what you should have been looking for. And if you want to hold leftover, like if you want to take most of your position off and look for leftovers down towards like VWAP or even lower, like this key break of 1740, that's completely up to you. You know, I try to do that whenever I can, but most of the time I would take pretty much all of my position off right there at that previous resistance area. So would I short Snap here? No. This appears to be grinding. This is definitely what a grinder looks like. This TLSA is constantly on this scanner, huh? It's kind of just grinding its way down. That's the thing with lower volume stocks too, is sometimes when it does get like a little bit of an influx of volume, it'll kind of set the scanner off, because for the overall range that it's in, it is technically kind of an intense move, and it is further extending itself. So that's kind of why it's chilling there on the scanner. Plus it's a low floater, so it's not hard to make a quick move like that. Ascending triangle on Snap? I mean, I wouldn't really call it an ascending triangle. I would say this is, you know, it's double topping right here. I would have to see it come down, set a higher low again, and then start to come back up. Then you could consider it an ascending triangle. But right now you only really have that one reference point, so it's kind of hard. Because you want it to look something like this. So we got, I guess we don't really need that line since the high day's there. But you want your trend line to kind of look something, I guess I want a little, something like this. Let's move this down. So you kind of want it to look like that. So you want it to come down, make a higher low, touch, and then you want it to squeeze tight. So when you're looking for ascending and descending triangles, you're looking for it to squeeze tight. You're looking for the price to really kind of get towards that end goal, and then that's where it usually explodes. So that's what you got to look for. You want to look for one side of it is trending in a certain direction, and the other side has multiple touches looking for that break. So that would be what I would call, oh yeah, I've shorted. It's just nothing has worked. Here, I'll show you. So these are all my real trades that I have, and I've never lost this. I mean, you can see my win percentage overall is 79%, where if we go to when I just, only from when I was trading my new strategy, February 8th is when I started it, to today. What is today? The 9th. Wait. Isn't today Thursday? What? I'm confused. What? Now it just changed. Their calendar is off. Okay. Anyways. You'll see that my win percentage is actually 86%. And a lot of that has to do with right here. It was up closer to 90%. Let's see if we go to the overview, if it keeps the, yeah, it'll keep the data in there. So we now have the line chart, which is nice. But here's my journey since February, and I want to show you Apple. Oh, you need more? Okay, one sec. Let's scroll through all of my chart, or all of my trades, and look right here on the side. Let me know when you see a long trade. It's not hard to spot them because there's not many. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, there's not many long trades in here. So, yes, I do short. Okay. Be right back. LK, what are you looking at LK? Because I wanted to short LK earlier, but we don't have any shares. I'm coming, but I'm coming. Let me just pull LK up. I'm just curious. Yeah, LK actually. This is, well, no, this is kind of the same thing we were just talking about on Snap. Apple. Can you say applesauce? Applesauce? Apple. You want this apple? Apple. Can you bite it? Yogurt? Yes. This? Yogurt? Put it right here, okay? All right, sorry about that. Yeah, LK is kind of doing the same thing where it's kind of hitting that double top. But again, if it busts through, it's a breakout. But if you're looking for it to be like an ascending triangle, again, you would want it to look more like, if I can grab it, more like this. So you kind of want it to come back down, test here, and then squeeze tighter, because then it'll be a stronger breakout. Because if you were to break out after a big move up like this, it's going to be a weak breakout. So let's watch it now, because we are breaking out. We'll probably get the 43 and go through 43, but we're going to get rejected, would be my guess. Because we're already extended. We're on a pretty decent move here. So the buyers are going to exhaust themselves, and we're not going to have that power to really keep pushing. Where if we would have kind of stopped, kind of regained our composure through a little bit of a pullback, and then started to work our way up again and pulled tighter, that's where the power breakouts come out in the nice ascending triangles. Gene, sorry, I did see that, I just didn't pull it up. Gene looks good for what? What are we looking at here? Yummy? Yeah. Gene to me does not look very good. This looks, looking at the daily, this looks like a pump and dump. Look at, as we say that, look at that. That was crazy. This is classic pump and dump. Hopefully you got in there. That was a nice little move into a halt. Just out of nowhere, too. That's pretty funny that we had it up. You in that, Kevin? If so, nice, man. That was a nice move. But be weary. Look at the daily. Every time it does this, look at what it does right after. Every time. Big move, right back down. Big move, right back down. Big move, right back down. Like, it's almost like there's a chart within the chart, and it just gets pumped every so often. Like, look at that. It's like a normal chart, and every once in a while you just have a random pump and dump. Except for this one. This one kind of went up and then kind of held, I guess, for a little bit, but not really. But every other time, this just goes straight up, right back down. Straight up, right back down. Straight up, and it was coming right back down. This is on the downswing. Yeah, this is after it just did that on the 7th, which was Monday. So be very careful with something like Gene. I would not be interested in this myself. All right, what did we tell you? Here we go. We made it through 43. Actually got to what, 43.18, and we're already right back below 43. I would only suspect that we'll get below this 42.82 area. It's really hard for buyers to keep buying when you finally hit that high of day. If anything, a lot of the people that were buying here, down in here, they're selling into this, right? So if your buyers are now selling, you don't have any more buyers to keep buying. So it's going to start turning into mainly short sellers and sellers. So that's why it's really hard to kind of expect a breakout, like a really strong breakout, because look at the range on this, 39.50 all the way up to 42, well, now 43. So for us to only get a breakout of like 30 cents, that's nothing compared to what we'd really be looking for. But if we would have squeezed it a little bit tighter and then broke out over this 43, we'd be looking for up towards 44, 44.50 as a candidate. So I highly doubt that we're going to get that type of move based on this breakout, just from what I've seen in the past. It's purely my opinion, obviously. Take it for what it's worth. But just from my experience, that's what I've come to realize. I'm in at 350, but I got scared out of half my shares at the halt. Well, what do you mean scared out of your shares at half the halt? That's, if anything, I would have probably taken more. I would have took like 75%. That's awesome, man. Nice trade. There's nothing wrong with taking shares out of the halt because you don't know. This thing might open up down around your average. Like, you don't know. That's the power of halts. But it could also continue. I would say you're not going to get higher than this 522 area, though. There's a little bit of a trend with these, as you can see. Let's see where. Let's draw the ray line, actually. Get this a little bit better. So I would say probably right around $5, maybe a little over $5. That's definitely, to me, as far as that thing's going. LK trying to prove me wrong here. But even if it does get up towards 43.50, I think that's as high as we're going to get. Like I said, we're not going to get that real breakout that we were hoping for. Not like a nice big green candle like something over here. Or if we just would have consolidated again first, I think we would have got it. Obviously not saying it's not possible. Nobody obviously knows what's going to really happen. And who knows, the market for LK might be, market maker today for LK might be interested in just taking this thing to the moon. Who knows? I think I might have to go back to more charts, but I don't know how I would squeeze 4 charts. I would have to use my other monitor. I don't really know how that would work. It's kind of crappy. I wish I had one more monitor. It'd make such a difference. There we go. We opened up higher. See if we can get that 450 break for you. There it goes. We're going to halt again, 468. Be careful with this one myself. If this was me, I'd be if it does halt, I would not think this is going to continue too much further next time, because like I said, I'd be looking at that line there on the daily. Actually, the halt price moved up there. It's kind of struggling here a little bit, but it's holding. So, oh, there it goes. Failed that 70 mark again. That second, or it was like the third time, really. Oh, we're back up there. Definitely some FOMO coming in here on GENE. That's for sure. Just to take a quick look at LK2, we are getting that pullback that I was telling you about. We didn't even get up to that 43.50 area. Nice, Kevin. Very, very well done. Because this is, to me, this is what was bound to happen. You're going to get this big drop. If it would have halted again, we might have got that move up towards 5, but I don't quite think we're going to get it now. And if it does, this thing might actually just... If we can go through a pullback and then go high of day, this might go higher than $5, like over that line that I was telling you about. Because there isn't really anything else moving like this. And I know a lot of people are looking for these types of moves, so they tend to FOMO into these. It's kind of struggling here under 50 now. Has to get back over 50 if it wants to continue. Here we go, we're trying. There it is. See if it can get through. It's through. There we go. 70, just like that. No, Giovanni. No. Let me pull up a stock that I know we can play. I know we can play Tesla. So, see this S on the montage? That means it's shortable. And you don't pay anything. That means it's easy to borrow, or ETB. So if you ever see ETB floating around, that means easy to borrow. If you see HTB, it means hard to borrow. And if you see NTB, it means not to borrow, which means nobody has shares available. It just means you can't short that company. So you're looking for that S. If it doesn't have an S and you see HTB, that HTB won't be here. It'll just be blank. Like, let's see, ZFGN. Nope. I'm just trying to find one. Of course, I'm not going to be able. I know NEO, we don't have shares. So it'll just be blank like this. But in that case, you can go into your broker, come up here to trade, go to short locate, and then you would type in the ticker, how many shares you want, and then hit inquire. And it'll tell you that if they're available, how much it is per share. So you would have to pay the $25 locate fee, and then on top of that, you would have to pay 500 times 0.0375. You'd have to pay another $18.75 to borrow those shares. So it would cost you $43.75 to borrow 500 shares of NIO right now. And that's the sucky part of having a broker that doesn't have a lot of shares available, is if you have to go out of your way to locate them. Now, they do have two different places to locate from, and sometimes, like see here, it's actually a lot cheaper through this one. So if we did 500 times 0.014, that's only $7 instead of $18.75. So definitely, if you are locating, check between the two just to get a quote. And then if you actually want to locate them, you just come down here, you check it off, hit locate shares, the amount again, and then they hit locate order. But make sure you actually want to do it when you hit this order. I'm pretty sure, I haven't ever tested this, but I'm pretty sure a pop-up menu comes up saying, are you sure? And then you would obviously hit it, and then it'll show it down here. So that's how that works. Set a stop at 420 and am done for the day. Very well done, Kevin. That was a great trade. That came out of nowhere, too. Do you have a little inside information there? Because you said 350, so you were in down here. Beautiful. I think we're about to get out of here as well. Might give it to about 11 o'clock. What did LK end up doing? Yeah, she's still trying. Never really gave us any kind of a pullback. What's wrong, bud? Your house? Do you want to watch them? We put them up on the TV? If you don't want to explain, don't, but just curious, what's set up? Or is that just an ascending triangle after a move down on a stock that's already up? Because that's all I can really see is like you get the move up, get a move down, get a little bit of an ascending triangle going, and then it looks to squeeze higher. Okay, you're right. It did look very similar. I probably seem like such a bad dad today because it sounds like I'm ignoring him, but I'm really not. He's just in one of them phases right now where no matter what I do, he's just fussy. So the best way to handle that is to kind of just let him do his thing, let him fuss for a little bit, and then he's fine. Like right now, he just went back to playing. And I know he doesn't need anything because he's been snacking all morning as far as food goes. I checked his diaper, all that good stuff. Yeah, no, you're right. Trader psychology, 100%. It does look like you might get stopped out here, though. 100%. You're exactly right. That's what I was saying. When you get this ascending triangle, that's when you see shorts starting to get trapped. They're looking for this thing to die completely. And then when it wasn't, that's when these squeezes happen. You're 100% right. Yep. I totally agree with you. Let's see. Yeah, this EOLS, this thing is crappy. I remember bringing this up. I just wasn't interested because I didn't like how it started grinding, because we brought it up right in this area here. I didn't really like how it was doing what it was doing. But this is exactly what these low floats do in the end, though, right? So if you can get in on the right side of it, that's awesome. But never be the ones buying into the FOMO or the halts or whatever. Don't do it. It never ends well. WLL. Yeah, this one I remember pulling up too. I just wasn't interested. I didn't really like the extension because it kind of gave you the move here, and it did give you that pop, and then it dropped even further. So I wasn't really too impressed with how it played out. It's not looking like too much is really happening now after everything kind of happened there at the bell. We got our 2 trades in. BBBY, thanks to Mr. J Towers. That was a good call out. We didn't quite see that one, but this was a nice little extension that we were looking for. Ended up getting the pop back up, took our profits. CLVS was pretty much the same thing. Ended up with 2 entries there, and we got our pop, and that was that. This actually is starting to, this would have been real nice if it would have continued and then made that move, because we would have been definitely adding into this down here. So not a bad day. I was actually pretty impressed with getting 2 trades there on the long side. Yes, they were both on paper, but like I was explaining earlier, if you're just now tuning in, it's new to me, something new that I'm trying out, and it would be kind of silly to risk my money on something that I don't know if it works or not for myself. So would you say the location fee isn't something to really worry about? Well, this is when the size that you're trading matters. Because if you're trading 50, 100 shares, then yes, it does matter. Because the odds are you're not even going to make back how much it costs for you to borrow the shares. But if you're trading 500, 1,000 shares or even more, then yeah, I mean, what's $25 or 30, 40 bucks to locate some shares, right? You're trading 1,000 shares. That's 4 cents once you're in the position. So, and I would hope that you're not only looking to make 4 cents. So, I mean, there are some cases where you are, but the thing is too, with the locates, once you locate those, they're yours for the day. So you can use them the rest of the day, just so you know. It's not like you use them and then you have to locate them again. Once you locate those shares, they're yours to trade all day if that's what you are looking to do. Just cracked my upper back. It's like something that doesn't crack very often. It felt really good. So we're gonna hang out here till 11. That's where we're gonna cut it off at 11. It's usually when I cut it off anyway. I would like to stay till 12 every once in a while, but definitely not when the market's like this. We'll see after earnings start piling in here if the market kind of picks up a little bit and actually lets us stay until 12. But for right now, we're going to keep cutting it off at 11. So if you have any questions, let me know. Again, don't forget about the 1,000 sub giveaway. If you haven't signed up for that yet, go do it. Doing the 2 weeks of the scanners and the 3 pro accounts for TraderSync for a full year. So go check that out. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. If you don't know who I am, I'm Tim here at Volatility Trading if you're new. If you have always been here, thank you for being here. You know I appreciate that support. I am going to make a video today, I think, of these two trades. Even though they are paper, I do feel that they were good trades and they can be learned from regardless. And so check that out later if you want to. It'll basically just be the live trades. You could obviously just kind of rewind and watch it here on the stream if you want. But I'll have a more condensed version and kind of just explaining the thought process behind them and all that good stuff as well in the video. And as always, if you want to keep chatting, we do have a bunch of guys that chat in the Discord, which is provided right there in the chat. Also have Twitter if you want to follow me there. Just my two other means of communication. But Discord is definitely the best way to communicate with me outside of the stream if you want to do so. Or you could just leave any questions or comments on any of my videos. I answer every single one of them. So you can always go that route as well. Speaking of which, I've been really bad in there today. CLVS. Yeah, Suid. I just had that up because that was what we had traded. But yeah, that's what I was saying. If we would have if this would have kind of continued down, sort of like EOLS is doing, and then we would have got this rip, that would have been nice. We would have made some more money. But obviously not going to complain about the quick winner that we got there earlier. I am going to try to figure out a way to add 2 more charts, though. Might just put them up over here, and I'll just have to kind of pull the chat up here and there. It's crazy to think that having 4 monitors is not enough. I need bigger monitors is what I need. Yeah, a lot of times too, you'll see me in the Discord like Sue's doing. He'll ask me questions in there and I just answer them on stream because I know he's in here. So my bad on that if the chat looks like it's not moving in the Discord. Plus Devin, who is usually here every single day, you'll see he was in there a little bit earlier, but his kiddo's sick, so he's kind of dealing with her this morning. And I know Thomas is always in here. Tom is always in there. So if you ever have any questions and I'm not there, the odds are somebody will be here. And I like to think that pretty much anyone that does kind of hang around me for the most part is a little bit more on the knowledgeable side. I tend to try to attract the people that are actually serious about trading, and they're not here just to get rich quick, and they're not ones to fall for those kind of scams. Because unfortunately, that's the sad reality of this little niche in the market, especially on YouTube. So I try to be as transparent as possible. Vincenzo likes to let us know about that as much as possible. He also likes pepperonis, so I like pepperonis too. Actually, Vincenzo, I can't eat it yet because it's too early. But I bought, the normal pepperonis are kind of like this size. Well, I bought the deli style ones, and they're like this size. They are so good. They're like legit pepperoni. But yeah, again, you don't hear nothing but the truth here. I know Tom likes to try to get me to hate Ross a lot, and for good reason. But I try not to talk bad about other YouTubers and other traders and stuff like that. But you just have to really do your own due diligence when it comes to the stock market and, people offering you, services in exchange for money. Do your due diligence on all those things and make sure that it's actually worth your while. Yeah, Sue, it's fine. Seriously, I was just saying it was just kind of funny because you aren't the first one to do it. So I tend to just mention it just to kind of, the engagement here on YouTube's a little bit easier for me because then it's all in one place. I always try to check the Discord as much as possible, but it's hard, especially when I'm trying to trade. I don't even look at the Discord, and I rarely look at the chat, to be honest, unless there's like a dead spot per se in what's going on. The unmuddied mountain stream. That water is pretty clear. Not going to lie. Or pretty transparent, I should say. I feel like I need to give you guys the full effect of my beard. I told myself I'm trying to eat better right now. And I'm debating if I want to shave or not until I hit a goal weight. So that way it kind of forces me. Because last time I grew my beard out, I actually liked it. But the more I'm letting it kind of grow out again, I'm not a huge fan. Like, I feel like it makes me look like a grizzly bear. I feel like I like it, like, you know, groomed, nice and not short, but like I like it shorter than it is. So I'm thinking I set a goal weight and I'm trying to hit it, and it's going to take me a while. I'm not one, I do it right. When I lost all my weight the first time, I did it right. I had some stupid life events kind of take me off course after 11 to 12 months of just straight hard work. I lost 100 pounds in 11 months last time, and I was doing great keeping it off. And then I had some unfortunate life events happen, and we went on a cruise around that same time, and I gained, I want to say it was 17 pounds just in 7 days on that cruise, and it was bad. It was bad. And then from there, I just, you know, I don't know. I couldn't stop mourning a little bit. So I ended up just eating. I ate my stress away, and I didn't gain all of my weight back, but I came pretty close. I gained about 75 pounds of the 100 back. And, you know, it just, I started to kind of feel it, you know, as I get a little bit older. And when winter came around, my knees really started to hurt, and I was like, I can't do it. I gotta get rid of it again. So, and I've been doing really well. I cut soda out completely. You guys know me. I used to drink soda every day, and I would drink 3 or 4 of those things a day. I was eating dumplings every day for lunch. Now I'm eating lean, you know, I'm eating chicken breast. I'll make a protein shake. That's been my lunch. For dinner, I've usually been, you know, whatever the family eats, but I eat in moderation. I used to always eat their leftovers. I don't do that anymore. If it's left over, I either save it for them for the next day, or I try to, you know, just throw it away, as much as I don't like throwing food away. But I'm on the right track. I'm on the right track. Serious question. Are you Matthew Santoro's brother? Just LOL, just playing. I don't even know who that is. Let me take a gander on Google. Oh, I've seen this guy. Yeah, he's a YouTuber. What have I seen him do, though? Let's see. What's that? Is this goldfish? Fake goldfish?
China has a history. Steve.
Oh, don't monetize me, or don't demonetize me. It's so funny that I say that all the time, and I really don't care. It's just it happened to like all my previous videos from playing silly stuff. Yeah, I'm sure I just randomly caught him on something that was recommended. I recognize the face, but I don't watch him regularly. Like, I don't, now that I'm looking at his page, I don't remember any of this. What? What is this? Oh, you want some of these? don't figure out how to open that, because that's going to go everywhere. My kid just did the cutest thing. He found these little play. He found video, or not video. He found this little like box, and it had like goldfish, and here, I'll just show you. Easier. You're gonna be picking dry, hard noodles up. So they are like these little things. So this one is a goldfish, and this one has little noodles. And so he was telling me that he wanted some. And sorry, I was seeing what was going on the scanner. And so I showed him the goldfish, and he was like, "Oh, thanks," kind of thing. Like I gave it to him. But then he started pointing at the noodles one. And I was like, "Oh, we actually have some of those. You want those for lunch?" And I went over to the pantry, grabbed them, and showed it to him. And he just had like the biggest giggle and smile on his face. It was great. I have a video of skinny volatility trading at my channel. Oh, geez. Is that the dancing one? What? I haven't even seen this. Did I? Oh, no, I watched this one. I'm going to watch it again, though. Don't copyright me. Guess you can't copyright me. I guess I could copyright you.
Hello, I'm Emir. Volatility is doing nothing. Let me talk about my trade room in Transylvania. Wow.
Am I that laggy, by the way, on your stream while you're watching me? Yeah, you're talking about the celebrating another winning trade one, aren't you? Yeah.
Volatility trading celebrates another winning trade.
That cracks me up. I need to start sending people over there. You want these? The water's heating up, bud. Eat your nose. I'm working on it. It's got to cook. All right, guys. Again, if you have any continued questions, yes, it is my famous victory dance. Feel free to find me on Discord. You can find me on Twitter. Leave questions on any of the comment sections on any video. I will get to those. Don't forget about the 1,000 sub giveaway. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will be here tomorrow morning as well as tomorrow night to do the giveaway. So until then, guys, I will catch you. Have a good rest of the day. I'm going to literally catch you, like jump. I'm right here. I'm waiting to catch you. Till later, guys. Peace.